Hey up! This is the second of the videos from our tour of Europe in 2022, showing you the areas we visited as we travelled. This video covers the route from the Vosges to Semillé, and some of the fantastic roads around Semillé in the very heart of France. The total journey for the day was just over 400 kilometres or 250 miles. It would be about 4 to 5 hours riding with no stops depending on the traffic and the roads. It wasn't a short day of riding, but it would take us into the very centre of France, one of the least populated areas of the country. We left the Vosges via Jaraldmer and Remiremont, and then travelled southwest to Besançon. It would be a long day of riding, so part of the route would be highways, but we did have some nice open roads to break the journey up. After Besançon, we went west on the A36 until we left the highway completely for the day. As we turned into wine country, the roads got more exciting and empty. It wasn't the spectacularly rugged scenery we had had in the Vosges, but gentle hills and valleys dominated by miles and miles of vineyards. The villages were more spread out here, and the emptiness of the roads meant the ride really was a joy. The weather had been hot in the Vosges, but it got a lot hotter here as we travelled towards autumn. We found a fantastic little boulangerie in Nolay for a well-earned coffee, pizza and cakes to fuel the rest of the journey. They had conveniently put a tree in the car park opposite so the bike could stay in the shade too. The D973 took us all the way to Autun, through picturesque towns and villages surrounded by open countryside, and then onto the D681. From here there were no more towns really, just a few small scattered villages. These are the roads you will see most in the video. The roads seemed tiny with the V-Strom fully loaded. We hadn't done bad for time, so I took a few random side roads in vaguely the right direction once we had got off the beaten track. I'm a fool at times for seeing a good-looking road and just following it to see where I end up. We just wound our way gradually through the empty rolling hills of this beautiful area. We usually choose out-of-the-way places to stay, and this was no exception. The nearest village was Semillé, but to give you some perspective, the nearest supermarket was about half an hour of spirited riding away. The place we had booked didn't show much in the pictures, but when we arrived, it was a biker's haven. Tucked away on the side of a hill was a small plot of land surrounded by trees on three sides, with a clear view of the sunset, as you can see in the photos. The driveway could have fitted about 8 bikes, so we had plenty of room. Outside the glass-fronted eco-cabin was an open fire pit, and to the side was an outdoor kitchen area built into a lorry container which had had the side opened up. The views across the valley were stunning, but it was the sunsets that were the most breathtaking. Looking west, it seemed like the emptiness went on forever. A rural masterpiece that was shaped by the agricultural history of the area. Low hedges and smooth tarmac with just the occasional tractor or car meant riding here was relaxing compared to the Vosges. It allowed great views of the road ahead most of the time, so my throttle hand got a little more exercise once we had unloaded. You can see some of the towns and villages in the video, and I've left a lot of the footage unedited to give you an idea how empty it really was. Most of the area was made up of farming communities, and the buildings could have been plucked straight from the history book. The footage towards the end of the video is all of the area around Semillé, and the time-lapse footage is the journey from the Vosges. We had 2 days to do some exploring before the next leg of our adventure, and we made the most of it with some great riding. The weather just kept getting hotter while we were there, and all the layers of gear were packed away for a while. From here we would continue southwest diagonally across France, past Limoges and then southwest towards Bordeaux. We had found a small gîte in a tiny village called St. Victor in Nouvelle-Aquitaine, near a small town called Ribérac. Neither of us could wait to see what else France had to add to our journey. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. It does help YouTube find me amidst all the videos out there. Sorry for the wind noise. I hope it doesn't spoil the footage for you. I will keep adding the next leg as soon as the editing is done, so keep a lookout for new episodes, and you can find more on the website in the Motorcycle Adventures section of the blog. Thanks again, and enjoy the ride, everyone. I'll leave you with some music to enjoy with the time-lapse footage, but you can get the soundtrack from the bike later in the real-time footage.